Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Oh, these people are looking at me over here. Hi, I'm just vlogging. Don't worry about me. Oh my gosh, I feel like everything I've been doing today, I've been like watched by my neighbors and everybody. Oh my God. Anyway, how are you guys doing? It is 7:46 p.m. and I am vlogging early tonight. And I have no idea how long this vlog will be. We'll just kind of see. And I have had a super great day, super amazing day, very relaxing. I'm really excited because I have a egg salad sandwich and chips that I ordered from Patashu when we left, because we went to Patashu for brunch today. And I have my California Dreamer omelet with jalapenos and the pesto sauce and sour cream. And then when we left, I was like, I didn't know what I would have for dinner tonight. And Alex was super, super tired, and I honestly thought that he would like go to sleep like early tonight, which he's right now watching the Paris Hilton documentary. He brought home a lot of his food. He didn't eat all of it. He said he wasn't like super hungry. So he brought home turkey chili, and he brought home part of his Cuban breakfast. And he has leftovers from his mom's too, or his brother's house from last week. But so I didn't have anything for dinner, and I was like, okay, well, what am I gonna have for dinner tonight? So I got an egg salad sandwich. I've been like craving an egg salad sandwich. I don't know why. And they have like, they have really good egg salad there. So I got an egg salad sandwich and it comes with chips, and then I'm just gonna drink water. And then I'm gonna lay down and take a little bit of a nap. And then I am going to listen to my audiobook tonight. My Bad Day for Sunshine audiobook, which I'm trying to finish. And yeah, been a great day. I got up today. And I am going to finish what I was talking about last night on the vlog in just a little bit, but because I know it just cut off at the end because of my battery. I apologize for that. I did not look for any of my mom's journals today. Just like one thing after another happened. I got up, we went to brunch. I slept in super late today. Went to brunch. Had a great brunch. We sat outside. It was like upper 70s today, like 78, 77. It's supposed to drop drastically tomorrow, and it's supposed to be like in the low 60s. And all this week it's supposed to be really cool. Well, 60s is like still nice, you know, but it's like, that's fall, and I think this, everybody that I talk to is like, this is the last week of nice weather that we're supposed to have. So, I mean, Indiana is so weird that in November you can have a day in the 80s or 90s, you just don't know. But this week it's supposed to drop real low, which I'm kind of excited about. So yeah, so we went to brunch, sat outside, had a great time at brunch, and then I came home and I dropped Alex off, and then I drove around and talked to Mel on the phone, and we talked about the book club, and oh, what did I do last night that I was up so late? Well, I fell down the rabbit hole of these Chris Watts videos on YouTube, and I watched like one Chris Watts and Shanann Watts video after another. I feel like I know so much about that case now. There's so much on YouTube about that. By the way, like, so many people through the years have recommended Bailey Sarian to me. And I've watched a video of hers here and there, but like just kind of like a snippet of it because people would recommend her. But I watched her whole video on Chris Watts last night, and I am like so in love with Bailey Sarian. She is such a great YouTuber. She's so fun to watch. She's beautiful. You know, she does the makeup stuff. She's like, but like none of that problematic drama that comes with a lot of the other beauty influencers. And then she talks about these true crime cases, which I just love. She's very different and cool. And anyway, I love her. She's just awesome. And so if you've never checked out Bailey Sarian, you should go check her out. But most of you have been the ones that have recommended her to me. I mean, she's been around for a while. I think the Chris Watts case was actually she does like a Murder Makeup Monday, I think it's called. I think that was her very first like Murder Makeup Monday video that she did. Or it's called something like that. Anyway, Murder and Makeup or something like that. I think that was the first one because some people commented on it when I said something about it on Twitter. But when I was watching it, she was also like, I like murder and I like makeup, and so I'm going to do these. And then at the end, she was like, if you like this kind of video, let me know and I'll do more of it. She had been around on YouTube for a while and hadn't been doing those. And then I think that's kind of like what helped her channel blow up. Which is sad because you have all these problematic YouTubers that their videos are highly monetized, but I didn't notice a lot of monetization on her video. because it's talking about crime. And I think a lot of like true crime videos are demonetized on YouTube because of the subject matter and stuff like that. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think that's something that's been more recent lately. So yeah, so then talked to Mel on the phone, then came home and then did the live stream for the book club over the book The Perfect Father by John Glatt, which was about the Chris Watts case. Our live stream went an hour and a half long. It was so much fun. We had like 90 to 100 people in there the whole time. We guested a lot of people that we had never guested before. It was really, really fun. So yeah, so then after that, I had decided that I wasn't going to post any videos today, that I just wanted to kind of like be with Alex and like, but he was like resting in bed all day long. So I was like, okay, well, I think I'm going to roller skate. And I was sitting outside and my neighbor walked by, my neighbor Laura, she and her roommate, they like walked by, they take walks every night with the dog. And she was like, and she rollerblades. And I was telling her that I said, I started on my roller skates last night, but it was more difficult than I thought it would be. She was like, yeah, rollerblades are hard too, but I don't think they're as hard. And I was like, you know, I have a pair of my rollerblades from like 20 years ago that are in my basement. Because I used to come over to my mom's when it was my mom's condo, like early sobriety. And my roommate and I, she and I would rollerblade around the neighborhood and then we would go swimming. So I was like, I might bring up those rollerblades and see if that's an easier transition to roller skating. Like if I can get on rollerblades, maybe it'll be easier for me to roller skate. So I got my rollerblades out from the basement. They're like spider webs and all kinds of stuff on them. And put my my iTunes on. I listened to Donna Summer, Blondie, Atomic, and Whitney Houston. And it took a little time, but I got up on the rollerblades. I made it all the way down to our gate and all the way back. Alex came out. Oh, it made me so happy. He was like recording me and he was like smiling. And he was like, Alex last night was like, I want to get some roller skates and then we can roller skate together. And I said, I think that would be so much fun. So we're going to do that. I said, it's harder than you think it is. So I rollerbladed around the neighborhood and I listened to music. Let me just tell you, I was such a sweaty mess when I was done. Like, it is a workout. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm so completely out of shape and I don't exercise or whatever. But like, it was, I mean, I was drenched in sweat when I got done. So when I go back after I eat my egg salad sandwich, I'm gonna take a shower before I go out and listen to my audiobook. And you can see my hair is like plastered to my forehead from like being sweaty. And but it was so much fun. But this was the thing. So at first I'm standing out there and I had to like walk through our dirt walkway to even get to the grass where I could walk to the mailbox so I could start, because I was afraid I was gonna fall on my butt. And my neighbor across the street comes out because he's grilling in his driveway. He has one of those eggs and he was making Cornish tins, he said. And he grills out like every single night, which I kind of love. We have the two neighbors across the street. Like the one guy, well, he has an egg, like one of those egg deals, you know? And he loves his egg, he said. He was telling me, he goes, yeah, everybody buys the big ones. I bought the medium size. He's like, it's just perfect because there's just two of us. And he was like, I love this thing. He cooks out in it like literally like every night. But the guy next to him, like he uses one of those charcoal grills like all the time. Like those old Weber grills my mom used to have, and she would do it in the driveway. Which is so funny because my mom was like so afraid of fire and stuff, but like she would use that Weber grill all the time to make like hamburgers and stuff. I don't know why, like I can see it. It's like one of those old yellow Weber grills. But anyway, so, which we should get something like that, one of those little small grills or something. I don't know, I'm so weird about fire, I probably would be not liking it. But anyway, then we, so then my other neighbor came out, because I think he heard us talking, to walk the dog. So he was like walking the dog just around the yard. And so I'm talking to them, and I'm trying to like rollerblade, but they're like standing there talking to me. And this guy's telling me about how he grew up in Southern California, the guy across the street, Southern California in the 60s, and that everybody keeps on telling me about how they hit gravel or rocks and they hurt themselves. I'm like, why are you telling me this when I'm trying to do roller skate? I told him, I said, listen, I said, you're just making me afraid. One time on a bike, I was riding a bike and I hit, it was like in the wintertime, and I hit sand, and I just like like I was a little kid. I can't remember. I was like probably 8, 9, or 10, and I hit sand at the bottom of this hill, and just my bike went out from underneath me, and I got really hurt. I think I lost a tooth or something over it. But anyway, so yeah, I did that, and then Alex, I was texting Alex, because I went back up, like I was waiting for them kind of to go inside, because he was like, well, I got to finish my grilling so I can get my dinner, and then my other neighbor went inside. So then I went out, and I was like, yeah, it's a lot harder than I thought it was. So Alex came out, and he was like watching me, and I was like, watch, I can do it. I can like go into the street a little bit. And it is easier than roller skating, I will say that. So I could kind of get going a little bit, and then I said, record me. I said, I want a video, because nobody will believe this, right? So I recorded a video, and I put it up on my TikTok, and I put it to some Donna Summer song, Hot Stuff, I think, or Bad Girls or something. But anyway, because I downloaded all those songs to roller skate too, the ones I didn't already have. Now I have the entire collection of Donna Summer, I think. But anyway, it's so funny, because the one album that I downloaded the songs from is like this Black Greatest Hits album, and I actually had that record. I have that record album in my house somewhere. I may have even shown that on my, because I can remember having it, and I love like there's not one song on the album that I don't like. Well, there's like 1 or 2 that I don't know real well, but I think all the songs on there. But I think I do. I can't remember. I didn't download all the songs, or did I? I can't remember. But anyway, no, I didn't download all the songs on there, but I downloaded like all the ones that are like my favorites. I'm not a big MacArthur Park fan. That's not like one of my favorite Donna Summer songs. I don't know why. Not that it matters. But anyway, I did that, and then Alex went inside, and so then I went back. My neighbors came down, and then I was showing them that, and they were like, you can do it, you can do it. My neighbor's Laura that rollerblades, and she was like, yeah, I even have like knee pads and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm not getting all that. But anyway, so then I was just kind of doing it like right in front of our driveway, and then I made it all the way down to the gate and back. I was so like sweaty and like, but like, you know, like when you like with working out, like when you feel really good, like I felt really good afterwards, but I was like, boom, 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 boom. I was like all the way down to the gate. Like I was so proud of myself. It was so much fun. There was like a moment when I was like listening to the music, and I was like kind of dancing on it, you know, and I was like in that moment, I was like, this is like pure bliss. Like I am having so much fun in this moment. And I had kind of like, you know, you forget sometimes like moments of like pure happiness and bliss. Like I was so happy like right in that moment. And I kind of remembered like going around the neighborhood, and I could do little tricks and jumps and stuff like that. And I'm ready. Listen, when I get myself, I'm gonna practice a half an hour a day. And once I get really good in the rollerblades, then I'm gonna move to the roller skates. So yeah, I couldn't believe my rollerblades still fit me. They were a little tight, but that was okay. So did that, then came inside, and then that was when Alex was watching the Paris Hilton documentary. And I was like shouting up to him, and he wasn't answering, so I know he didn't want to be disturbed. He must be really into it. I heard it's really good. Tanya said it was really good. She was telling me all this stuff about it that you didn't know. Like, this person is just like sitting here. You totally missed the green light, dude. So yeah, and then I was like, well, maybe I'll lay down, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna go vlog now, because I'm awake. I got these samples at Costco, and they were for like this stuff that you put in water. I don't know what I have no idea what it's called, but it's like for an energy drink, but it's supposed to like balance your mood and stuff. I didn't read anything about it when I did it, but I put it in my water yesterday. It didn't make me feel like really any energy whatsoever. It didn't balance my mood or anything, but it tastes like absolute crap. It's supposed to be really good for you though, like vitamin-wise and stuff. I don't know what just made me think of that. Oh, because I was looking down at my glass, but I brought water with me. I know that I seem like I'm real energetic. I haven't really had that much coffee today. I had coffee at brunch, and then I brought a coffee home, but it was like half of my coffee that I had at brunch, plus like a little bit more. Like he brought me a hot cup of coffee to take, and so I just poured some of the extra into it. So I really haven't had that much coffee today, like a cup and a half, and I didn't even finish that. I think I'm just like, I'm like feeling the rollerblade mood, you know what I mean? Okay, so then I wanted to look up to see if I had the email from that guy. I'm not sitting here again. This is ridiculous. This dude is like, what are you doing? You're gonna try to miss every light? Get off your phone or whatever you're doing. Turning into this hotel. Okay. You probably could have waited to text there. Anyway, what was I gonna say? I was like, did they just turn around and come back out and come behind me? They better never. So I had mentioned last night that about the whole story about, I actually just posted my vlog. So I posted my vlog tonight, like right before 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But I had talked about how I had emailed the guy that my mom supposedly dated from Florida, and that I had that email somewhere, but I didn't know where. And I honestly, when I was talking about it last night, I was like, there's no way I'll be able to find that email. I found the email. I don't know how I did. I just looked up his name in my thing, and it came up. I couldn't believe it. His first name. So, because I don't know what his last name is. But anyway, I'll tell you about that in a second. Very speculative. Very speculative reading the email now versus reading it back then. Well, I'll just tell you about the email now. So, he said it was the summer of 1962. And he said that it was that he and his friend came there 62, 63, and 64, but that it was the summer of 62, and that she was there with a friend that had dark hair, which would have been my aunt. Now my aunt told me they stayed at the Delano. He said that they were at the Deauville, which I actually looked up. I've never heard of this hotel, but it supposedly was like this huge hotel. My mom told me once or twice that she had heard the Beatles live. She was like, I heard the Beatles live one time. And then like later when I asked her about it, she was like, I didn't say that. Like, no. And what was really weird was when I looked up this hotel tonight to see what it was, it's basically this huge hotel that was like the Fontainebleau, like back in the day. It was like this huge resort, and it's now like fallen to pieces, and like the city of Miami is like suing the hotel because they don't take care of it and stuff. And, I mean, it's like just completely falling apart. But it was like this huge resort back in the day. It's at 60-something and Collins in Miami. I've never heard of this resort before. I don't remember why at the time I didn't look it up. I think maybe because my aunt said they stayed at the Delano, which is still there. Because I said to my aunt, I do remember saying, are you sure it was the Delano? And she said, yes, I remember we were at the Delano. Well, this Deauville hotel is really famous. And I think maybe I thought, like, the Beatles played at the Delano. Because I feel like I've told Alex that before. Like, my mom must have heard the Beatles at the Delano. But they actually, their Ed Sullivan performance, which was like their first U.S. performance or something, I think, it was like a big deal, the Ed Sullivan show that they did, was actually filmed in the ballroom at the Deauville Hotel in like 62, 63, or 64. It was like one of those years that he was down there. And I'm almost like, was my mom there? Like, was that when she was down there? So anyway, I read the email. I have it. I'm not going to pull over and read it right now, but anyway. And it's kind of private. I don't know that I really do want to read it, actually. I think I want to kind of save it, maybe, and if Caroline and I ever do something with all of this. But he does say in there that he met her when they were laying out at the pool. They were both sunbathing. He was down there with a friend. Now, what's interesting to me about the email in retrospect is he said in there, like, because I asked him, I said, you seemed heartbroken in these letters that you wrote my mom and blah, 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 whatever. And he said, no, I don't know why he said something like, I don't know why. I thought he said that, yes, he was. What he said was that my mom wouldn't respond to his letters and that it really upset him, something like that. But he said, I did, like, go out with your mom. And then she said he told me what city he was from, which is a state close to Indiana, but not Indiana. And he said that she had said that she was going to, her and 2 friends were going to come and visit him. But like, reading the email now, it almost does kind of make me wonder, like, if he was gay. Like, it's weird reading it now, and like everything, you know, put together, like, if that was why she never like ended up following through, because she had interest in him. He didn't act like they dated the whole summer. It was like, yes, I went out with your mom. We hung out that whole summer. Well, he said he was only there for the month of August, because August rates in Miami were really cheap, he said. And so he and his friend would go every August and stay for the whole month at the Deauville. And now I know my mom was there for the whole summer. So anyway, I don't know. It's very confusing. There's all of this weird stuff to it, yada, yada, yada. But let's go to what I was saying last night, was that a friend and I, we went over to my mom's house the night that she passed away. I feel like maybe it wasn't the night that she passed away. Well, it would have had to have been. Well, that night I drove home alone, so it would have been later that night, because I can remember I can remember what I did that night. I went home and I remember I played Bob Dylan in my car on the way home, and she and I must have gone over there later that night or something, but I can remember, okay, because my mom had a dress that she wanted to be buried in. She had this dress hanging in her basement, and it was this Indian dress, like from India, that she had bought in Haight-Ashbury when her friend Diane lived there. And it was this black beaded dress. It was black, and then it had like wood beadwork. It was very hippie-ish. And she wanted to be buried. She had a note that was like safety pinned to the dress. And it said, "When I die, please bury me in this dress with a flower garland of daisies around my head, and like my cross and patchouli oil," was what she wanted to be buried in. She got all of that. So, and she wanted a lone singer to sing Moon River at her gravestone, which my friend that went with me, her son played guitar, and he played guitar, and we all sang Moon River at my mom's gravesite. So we went over there, though, to like find the dress and like start getting stuff together, because I knew that I was going to have to go the next day with my aunt, because she was like, "We got to do this, got to do this, got to do this." And so I pulled out her books, and I found her journals, part of them underneath the bed, and part of them in the closet, and part of them somewhere else, and I like piled them on top of each other. And I can remember I looked at it, and my friend is like, she was quite a bit older. She's quite a bit older than me. She was probably, at the time, late 50s. So, yeah, she's probably late 50s at the time, my friend. And I remember I looked at the journals, and I said, "This is overwhelming. I can't deal with this." And because it just was a lot. It was just like one journal after another it was so much to deal with and look at. Like, I didn't even know what to make of it. And I remember she looked at me and she said that is one of the greatest gifts your mother could have ever given you. She gave you all of her thoughts and everything that ever went on with her. And I remember it completely changed my perspective, you know. And there was a time that I started like reading all the journals, and I would like read them for a while, put them down for a month, pick them up and read them again. It just was a lot. There's a lot there. My mom could take a situation and she could super analyze it from here and back and forth. She had a lot of stuff in there where she would say, this was very confusing to me. It would say, Laura said this, and Laura said that, and Laura this, and Laura that. And it was that Dr. Laura Schlesinger. It was so weird. But it reads in her journal. My mom listened to a lot of talk radio. So it reads in the journal like it's a friend that she's talking to, like Laura. Like she's talking to her friend Laura. And for the longest time, I was like, who is Laura? Like, who is this who is this Laura? She didn't say Dr. Laura, she just said Laura. And then there was like one journal, like after like months of me not figuring it out, that said, like, Dr. Laura Schlesinger. And I was like, oh, because she had mentioned her to me. Like, she would, like, you know, when we would talk, she'd say, well, I was listening to Dr. Laura last night, and blah, 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 whatever. I mean, she wasn't delusional like that. I mean, she didn't act like they were friends or anything. She'd just say, oh, in Dr. Laura's show last night, she said, you know, yada, yada, yada about resentments or whatever. But in her journals, and I didn't connect the two because it had been so long that she had said that, but like in her journals, she would just say, Laura said this and Laura said, it'd be like if you guys kept journals and you said, Peter said this and Peter said that, like I was your good Judy, like in real life, like we talked like, you know, on the phone and stuff, and then like you're gone and somebody's reading your journal and they're like, who the hell is Peter? You know what I mean? Like it was confusing, like it didn't make any sense. So, but anyway, I will say she believed just about everything that came out of this Dr. Laura's mouth about relationships. Crazy. So, Caroline and I have often talked about sitting down and, because our mothers kept journals the exact same way, I almost wonder if it was like a secret keeping thing. Like, if this whole starting journals, different journals and things like that, I almost kind of wonder if it was like a learned, like, thing that, or if they would like start one journal and then like have to leave whatever home they're in and then go to another. My mom moved 12 times. She moved like 10 or 12 times, like from first grade all the way through her senior year in high school. All within like the same like township schools, but like in Marion County in Indianapolis. But they moved like 10 or 12 times. So, and I don't know why they moved. And my mom only ever talked about like one or two places that they lived. Like, it's weird. That's weird, too. I didn't even think about that till right now. Like, I know where my mom lived when she was, like, after they moved their sophomore year, and then, like, after that, they didn't move again. Like, my mom's freshman or sophomore year, they moved, and then after that, they didn't move again. They stayed in that house. Because it was this house, if you live in Indianapolis, it's the 52nd and Central, and it's an adorable house today, but it's real small. It still is real small. But my mom would drive me by the house and she'd say, I want to see that house that I lived in. But, you know, I don't know any of the other houses that she lived in. I don't know if they were apartments. I don't know if they were houses. I don't know what they were. I have literally, she never, like, that's so weird to me. I don't know. Now, I do have a lot of pictures of, like, my mom and my aunt. Do I? I should look through the pictures and see, because I'm like thinking now, like I have pictures when they were very, very little. I have pictures of my mom and my aunt with their dad before he passed away. I have pictures of them after he died, like the year. And then I have pictures of my mom and aunt when my mom would have been like 13 or 14. It jumps. Like, I didn't even think about that. I know there's probably a lot of you out there like, why do you care about all this? It's just real fascinating to me. I mean, to some degree, it's like reading a mystery book, but about your own family that you don't know anything about, you know? I don't know. The other thing is that my mom has all of her yearbooks from her, like, freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year, and so does my aunt. But they don't have any yearbooks from before then. Now, my mom would talk about what school she went to. She would say, like, we went to, like, 91 or 90, or, you know, we lived in this neighborhood. She would say stuff like that. But I don't remember. Like, I just don't remember a lot of stories about, I just always assumed they kind of lived in that house. God, that's so weird. Never even occurred to me before. I need to sit down, honestly, like just take a whole day and just like with a notebook, like write down all of my questions that I have and like timeline what I know and what I don't know and like kind of start trying to fill in the pieces. Like if I'm really truly interested in it, which I am, that's what I need to do to solve the mysteries, you know, is I need to put like birth dates and then I need to fill in the gaps and like what I know and what I don't know and what questions I have and things like that. Like I don't even know when my grandma and my mom's stepdad got married. Like I was thinking about that because my dad said something and I was like, well, grandma was married, she had to have been married because I knew him, like that, like my mom's stepdad, like I knew him, like I met him in my life. I remember him when I was a little kid, and then there was some horrible incident. He like pushed my grandma downstairs and they got divorced like right after that. It was like over, like we never saw him again. It was like something horrible happened. It stopped. Anyway, I was saying, I don't know if it caught this or not, but I was saying that like my grandma, I remember my mom's stepdad and that my grandma and him were like married when I was younger, and Caroline definitely remembers him. She has like very vivid memories of him when we talk about him. And but something happened and neither one of us remember it, but like literally like one day he and my grandma were like married and everything was fine, and then like the next day he was like gone from the picture. Like, and I remember it being something, like I overheard a conversation or something. I can see the house they lived in because the kitchen was in the back, and I remember it had one of those white stoves, those old white stoves, and the whole house would smell like kerosene, you know, or like, you know, gasoline or whatever. And I can remember my grandma would like turn on the stove and light her cigarette off the stove, and you would walk in and there was a living room, dining room kind of connected, and then that went right into the kitchen, and then a backyard, and then I remember there was like this staircase off the kitchen, it was scary, that like went into this basement. That's on this Tacoma here in Indianapolis, I think, because my dad said that one time, and I keep on meaning to drive by there and see if anything looks familiar to me, but I haven't. That's real close to me, actually, probably like 5-10 minutes from me. Remember my grandma had this big black lab, but she had an 8x10. Its name was Misty, and she had this 8x10 picture of this black lab in her living room, and then like you would go to the left, and there was like bedroom, and then bathroom in the middle. What is this? So anyway, yeah, so that was, but I don't know, I mean, now I need to sit down and like write down all my questions, and Caroline kind of goes in and out of being interested in it. Like she's interested in it and then she's not, then it's like kind of overwhelming and it's a lot, you know. It's like, for me, I kind of am like, all the time I want to talk about it, you know, but like, I think the sad thing is, I think my aunt would have really told me a lot if I had sat down and actually really asked her. I mean, the one time I asked her, which was in a restaurant, you know, about things, I didn't get into any of this stuff. But like, even after that, like she would say things to me like, you know, like we should write this book, and talking about how, you know, like it was for us, and like how, you know, like all this kind of stuff. I don't know, like, I can remember my mom talking about like how embarrassed she was of her stepdad, though, because like to have like friends come over and stuff, and he would like fish on the White River, and then he would catch like carp and stuff, and he would bring them home, and he had this fish tank in the living room that was like, he would keep carp in there and stuff, and then he had a black crow that he kept in a cage in the kitchen, like a live crow. Like, it's just unbelievable to me when I look back on this, you know. And my mom said he would sit there, and he hunted and fished and everything, and he would sit there in the living room, and like some guy would come over to take my mom or my aunt on a date, and my mom said that my aunt would never let guys come inside, and that, but my mom, you know, she'd be like running late, of course, because she always was, and she would let, I gotta pull in here and see what this text message says. And she would let guys come inside, and so like while my mom was finishing getting ready like for a date, like he would sit there and he would be like, he would just look at these guys, and they would be like so scared and intimidated by him. I remember him, he was like very tall, and like my mom would, I don't even know why I'm mincing words. If my mother was here, she would say he was uneducated. He was just not a good man. And she would say, and he was scary, and I did not like him. My mom did not like him. My aunt did not like him, and he was not nice to my grandma. Caroline remembers him taking her fishing on the White River. And she remembers like sitting there and fishing with him on the White River. I'm like, I don't remember all that. But anyway, he would come inside and like to my mom's boyfriends and stuff like that, he'd be like, you fish? And they'd be like, no. Why not? You ever been fishing? My mom would be like, oh my God, can we please go? I don't know what this is. I was buckling my, what do you call it, rollerblades tonight, you guys, and I don't know, can I not even see it anymore? Oh no, it's still there. Can you see this? That thing on my finger? It got caught in the buckle. I was like, damn it, Janet, that hurts. Look at that. Always doing something foolish, this one right here. Anyway. Gina, my husband has never learned to take the doors off of his Jeep. I'm like, babe, you need to learn how to take those doors off your Jeep so you can enjoy it. These people right here, they have these doors that are very cool, that you take the doors off, and it's just like these push doors. Have you seen those? I've never seen those on a Jeep before. Like where you just like, you know, push it, and then you're out, and then you're in. They're just like these plastic doors. Those would be really cool to put doors on for a Jeep. My aunt hated my, her stepdad. Now, I do remember my mom would say, like, that he came for Dad's weekend when she was at IU for, like, the Pi-Fi house, because my mom was a Pi-Fi. I've talked about that a million times on here. But anyway, and that the other girls were, like, super in love with him, and they thought he was so handsome and so cool because he could play classical guitar, and he was from Newport Beach, California, and he was kind of like, I think he was kind of like a drifter a little bit, and he was like real different, and not like, I mean, this was way before being hippie-ish, but he was kind of beatnik and stuff like that. I do remember my mom saying that he was like, she would always say this, she's like, you know, for his like not being a great guy, like he was way before his time. And I'd say like, what do you mean? And she'd say, well, like, you know, Peter, this was like when there was still segregation going on in Indianapolis. And she would say like, you know, like all of his closest friends were black, and he was like, you know, it just like he had gay friends and on and on and on, and he just, it was like nothing, he saw people as people, you know, always. And she was like, you know, that was that at that time, like that was, you know, just like something that was like not expected, you know, like this, she was like, so that would have been in the 50s, which means my mom would have been in junior high when they got married, which I think is right, because she would say this was in the 50s, this is when like we were just coming out of segregation, because she would talk about the pool that they used to go to, my mom and my aunt, and how like the water fountains and stuff, and she's like, I remember the summer that everything like changed, and it became the pool that my mom and my aunt went to, which is like a country club, but it's not, because it's like super cheap. But anyway, my cousin Caroline, she went there growing up too. We all went there, we loved it. It's not a country club, it's called Rivy Country Club. It's just like, nah, you pay $5 and you're like a member. But anyway, it was the first integrated swimming pool in Indianapolis, and my mom and my aunt went there every summer. And my mom like could remember like it changing over, and like what a big deal it was, and that people would like refuse to let their kids go swimming there and stuff like that. And my mom was like, she's like, I just remember that first summer, and you know, but so when she went to IU, like her girlfriends like thought that her stepdad was like the coolest thing, and that, you know, they thought he was very attractive, and he was younger than my grandma too. Like I don't know by how much, but he was younger than my grandma by quite a bit, like 5 or 10 years, I think. And he played like guitar, and he just was like, because my mom and my aunt and my grandma and him, they went to go visit his family in Newport Beach one summer. They like drove there because my mom said that she went through Las Vegas. Because I always would talk to her about Las Vegas, and my mom would be like, I only went there once with all of them. And they like drove through, and she loved California and all this kind of stuff. But, you know, she would say like there are things about him that were very cool, but he just was not a good person. He was not a nice person. So I don't know about all that. That's the one thing my dad won't really talk a lot about. But my dad did interact with him a lot. Like, my dad does remember, like, him very, very well. But I even remember at my grandma's funeral, and I was 13, I remember them talking about, like, if he shows up, like, somebody better get him and ask him to leave. And I almost kind of, he didn't show up, but I almost kind of wonder in retrospect if maybe he did and my dad said something to him. Like, I've never asked my dad that. I don't know, it's just weird. And like after like got divorced, like I don't remember my grandma ever talking about him, like ever. I don't remember anybody talking about him until the funeral. And I don't really know, well, if Caroline remembers going fishing with him, she would have had to have been 5 or 6 at the time. My aunt and uncle actually lived on the White River in Broad Ripple. If you know Indianapolis at all, there's a White River, and we're Frances Farmer. So Frances Farmer lived in Indianapolis for a while, and she had a house in Broad Ripple on the White River. They call it the Hollywood House. And I think Frances Farmer might be actually buried in Indiana. I'm not sure. But anyway, where her house is on one side of the canal, my aunt and uncle lived on the other side of the canal in Broad Ripple. They lived actually like on 62nd Street in Broad Ripple. And that was where Caroline grew up until she was like probably 6 or 7. I remember that house. I can see it in my head. And I was real little when they lived there. So maybe they lived there till she was 8, something like that, which means I would have been 5. I remember Caroline and I and the neighbors, who she still is like, her neighbor from that house is one of her best friends to this day and lives in her neighborhood now. And her parents are real good friends of hers too, because they were real good friends of my aunt and uncles their whole life. But I can remember Caroline and I and the girl standing in the yard, and we were like, it was Easter or something, and I can remember us singing Delta Dawn. Delta Dawn, what's that flower you've got on? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by? Or did I hear you say you'd be coming here today? Anyway, I told Caroline that so many times. She's like, I don't remember that, and I don't even know that song. I'm like, Caroline, you don't remember anything. But anyway, I do remember that house, and Caroline had little pigtails always, and so many things I don't remember. There's so many things I don't know the answers to. That's not true. I remember a lot. There's so many things I don't know, like the filling in the gaps. And isn't it weird how easy it would have been just to ask somebody? But my mom obviously wasn't going to tell me. The thing that's so weird about everything with my mom is that my mom was somebody that like vowed like about honesty. Like honesty and facts of her life were so important to her. So like she had a journal that said evidence on it, like of her life, of things that had happened, like interactions with people. So the fact that like there are pieces of her life that she never mentioned to me, that she never told me, that she skirted around the issue or made up completely, right? Like, is so bizarre to me. Like, that's so bizarre, because she was like somebody that like, she prided herself on like, I don't know, it's weird in retrospect. I mean, maybe she had excuses for all of it. Maybe she said, I never wanted you to know that I had lived that. Maybe she would say, I didn't want you to ever know that I had lived that kind of life, you know? That I just didn't, you know? I will say one thing is that like my aunt was, I wouldn't say she was ever ashamed of it, but she didn't talk about it a lot. Like she would say, we came from a very poor background, our mother struggled. She said, she and my mom both would say, we had cars and our mothers took the bus. And in retrospect, it would make them both very, very sad. Like, they didn't realize it at the time, you know, that their mom was working, which is probably why she was embezzling money. But like, my mom and my aunt, they each had a car. My aunt had a car at IU, and my mom had a car in high school, and my grandma was taking the bus to work. And later in life, that just like that alone, like, devastated my mom. She would look back and she would say, I just can't believe that. I just was like, I didn't even think about it, you know, that like, here was my mother, like, working her butt off. You know, we had every outfit we ever wanted. We had all the clothes. But, like, even that statement now, I look back on that where my mom would say, you know, like, mother worked her butt off for us. Like, she worked so hard so that we could have everything that we ever wanted. Well, she was stealing. You know, like, that's crazy to me. I don't know. Maybe that's how my mom justified it in her head and makes sense of all of it. I don't know. Enough of that. We're not going to talk any more about that tonight. What do we want to talk about? Paris Hilton documentary? I don't know, I haven't seen it. My egg salad sandwich that's at home, I'm ready for it. The week ahead, I'm very excited about the coolness of the week ahead. I'm very excited about practicing my roller skating and my rollerblading so I can get really good at it. And Alex it was so funny tonight. He's like, did you ever go roller skating at a roller, like a roller cade or whatever? A roller rink, he said. And I go, yeah. And he goes, you did? And I go, yeah, like, why? Is that funny? And he was like, I just didn't know. And I go, babe, like, we used to go all the time to RCA Skate in Indianapolis. If you guys live in or USA Skate, if you're from Indianapolis, you'll know. And I have to tell you something that's so funny is, when I was watching years ago, the made-for-TV movie about Ryan White, the beginning of it, Ryan White, the kid that was from Kokomo, Indiana, that passed away from AIDS, he was a hemophiliac. It was a big deal way back in the day. If you, his mother, what was her name? Ryan White. Why can't I think of her name? Really sweet woman. Celebrities, Princess Diana, all kinds of people. Elton John, Michael Jackson, all kinds of people came for his funeral and stuff. It was a huge deal. It was a huge deal. Why can't I think of what her name is? God, I wonder how old he would be. He's probably my age. But anyway, the opening of it, he had his birthday party, or his sister had her birthday party at, I want to say his mom's name was like Missy White or something like that. That's not right, though. Ryan White. This is going to drive me crazy. I'm going to have to look it up. But one of them had their birthday party at USA Skate. So if you want to know where I used to skate back in the day, look up the Ryan White documentary. It's probably on Lifetime. I'm going to look it up right now and tell you if it is. In the first couple minutes, you can see where Peter used to go roller skating all the time. A true story. And you know what is so funny was, I put this little video clip together of Eileen Warno saying thanks a lot, Society, last night. And I always get freaked out now sitting in parking lots. Last night I got so scared watching all that Chris Watts stuff. But anyway, I was thinking to myself, have you seen the movie Monster with Eileen Wuornos? In that movie, she meets Christina Ricci, who is like Thai, supposedly, but she's called something else. I can't remember, Cherry Baby or something. She meets her at a roller rink. Oh my God, I totally forgot about that. And she's like, shaking her hair back, roller skating. Why can't I not remember Ryan White's mother's name? She's super famous. Really nice woman. Oh, there's this picture. Oh, Ryan White mother now. Jeannie White. Jeannie White. Oh my God, this was the 30th anniversary of his death this year. So he would have been 43. Or did it say when he died? Wait. No, he was 13 when he was diagnosed. He was 18 when he died. So he would be 48. Are we the exact same age? That can't be. December 6th, 1971, Kokomo, Indiana. 6 months, we're different. So sad. Here he is with Elton John. All these celebrities. Is that Princess Diana? No. I honestly don't remember. Elton John, I think, was like the main one. I don't remember everybody else. Like, who's that? Charlie Sheen. You guys don't remember Ryan White. There he is. I'm gonna see if this movie is on YouTube. Hold on a second. Ryan White. Lifetime. Maybe it wasn't a Lifetime movie. What? Maybe it was a... Oh, it is! It's with that Lucas Haas. The Ryan White story. I swear to God, I cannot wait to show you guys this. There's a commercial for Toy Blast at the beginning of it. Skip ads. Okay. Here it's starting. I'm going to show you this in just a second. This is so funny. It's literally like right at the beginning. I think. Indiana Dancers Association. No, that's the State Fair. Union Station, Indianapolis. Oh no, it's at Union Station, Indianapolis. Why did I think it was USA Skate? Hold on a second. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Indianapolis. They're showing all these pictures of Indianapolis. There's all these things from Indianapolis if you want to see Indianapolis at the beginning of it. There's like these square dancers. They're making us look like all we do is square dance, which is not true. There's literally all these pictures of square dance, like videos of square dancers. I don't understand what that's about. The Wheeler Mission. Oh my God. I should watch this. I don't remember this. Why did I think Kokomo, City of Firsts? Okay. Why do I remember there being like a roller skating thing? Well, the lead-in shows you just about everything in Indianapolis and Kokomo. And his mom's like working I think she worked at Chrysler, which is the Chrysler headquarters are in Kokomo. The mother looks nothing like the mother in real life. Where is the video? Or where is the... Maybe this isn't the one I watched, but I'm almost positive it is. It has that one woman that was in the David Lynch movies that played... God, there's like tons of interviews about him. No, that's the only made-for-TV movie. Oh, 1990, Michael Jackson and Donald Trump visit Ryan White. There's tons on it on here. Ryan White's impact on Elton John, an interview on CNN. Well, you should definitely check it out. The movie, the Lifetime movie. I think I might watch it. Okay. Who texted back? Somebody that I had sent my, what do you call it? Oh my God, there's just a person sitting. Oh my God, no, it's these people standing out at this foot spa place. I was like, why are there people that person's just standing out there? Well, you should definitely check that out. I love made-for-TV movies, period. Do you? I love that. I need to watch that movie again. It's so tragically sad though because of how it ends. I Know My First Name is Steven. Did you ever watch that? Oh my god, that was like probably, I don't know, like what I used to love the one with Kelly White, not Kelly White, what was her name? Kelly, oh, she's like the queen of Lifetime. It was called, God, we used to watch it in treatment all the time. What's her name? Kelly, you know what. And she's like a drug addict and alcoholic, and then she ends up becoming a counselor. Shoot. What is her name? If I knew her name, then I would know the movie. But I watched that one, and then there was that one I liked. I love the Delta Burke movie about gambling when she's like, I can't stop! That one is one of the best. I used to love all of those Lifetime movies. Death of a Cheerleader, of course. Mother May I Walk with Danger. Did you guys ever watch Lifetime movies? What's your favorite? Put it in the comment section below. I Know My First Name is Steven is about a kidnapping, and it's really old, and it's about this guy that's been kidnapped, this kid, for a really long time, and then he helps save this other boy, and then he ends up like coming home, but like he doesn't know his family, and they're like, it's him like trying to fit back in the family, but it doesn't work. There was actually like a TV series a couple years ago that was very similar to this, and I thought it was really, really well done, and it got canceled after like one season, and I watched it. Every show I watch that's new gets canceled, so don't ever watch anything that I start that's brand new, because it'll get canceled. By the way, the Chris Watts, Shanann Watts documentary on Netflix comes out on, the documentary comes out on Wednesday. I want to see that. I can't wait to see it. I'm hoping they'll show a lot of different stuff that you don't already know. What was I gonna say? But then he ends up like getting all this money because they like sue this guy or they sue somebody, I can't remember, but he ends up getting all this money. Oh, from the family, because there was a reward for the kid that was kidnapped by the same guy that he was kidnapped by. So since he returns the kid, or he helps return the kid, because like he like would help the kidnapper then like kidnap other people, but since he like doesn't, he like helps them find the kid, he like gets all this money, and he ends up buying like an RV and living in his RV in the driveway. It's real weird. It just was real sad. I can remember. The Adam Walsh one is tragic too. And then later to read about, or not to read about, to watch that documentary. I think it was a series. It was a series on Netflix about that. I can't think of what his name is now. He had 3 names. He was the one that claimed to kill all those people, but he didn't kill all those people. It was all just a lie. And then they would take him to like, you know, a field, and he'd be like, yep, did it right there. And yep, did it right there. And he like claimed he killed like 300 people, and there was absolutely no way that he could have killed them. But his best friend was that Otis Toole. It looks like Otis, but it was pronounced Otis. And Otis Toole allegedly killed Adam Walsh. So I don't know about all that. That Otis Toole, though, like when you watch interviews with him, like it's literally like watching The Devil's Rejects, those Rob Zombie movies. Like it is scary. And just to think that those two like were driving all around the United States killing people is just like unbelievable to me. Ugh. Now I'm wanting to watch one of those Lifetime movies that I haven't watched in forever. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go home and eat my egg salad sandwich and watch that. So I'm gonna get off here now, because you know Sundays are my favorite day. So I hope you are having an amazing Monday beginning to your week. And if you like this video vlog, please give it a big thumbs up. That would mean a lot. It would mean a lot to me, and it would mean the world to me. It would mean a lot to me. And please subscribe if you haven't already, or think about it. And if you have already, I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And yeah, I'm gonna make it real short. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Practice random acts of kindness today. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you tell yourself that each and every single day, as well as positive affirmations about yourself, like you are valuable and you deserve to be loved, because you do. And I love you, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!